Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
This year I brought with me...
Well, tell us your name.
Oh, my name is James Sarita. I've been a Strat-o-matic game player since 1975. And I've been collecting the cards since 75. And over the last 10 years, through different outlets, one of them being the auctions online, was able to get every single Met Strat-o-matic team going all the way back to the first year. And to give you an idea, I'll take the first year out to show you the original cards.
Oh.
This is from the this is the first complete set where they did all 20 teams. And this is the Met team from that year, the 62 Mets.
Look at this.
And
Guys,
that was back before they had fielding.
62 Mets.
That was back before they had batters ratings for their cards.
Look at that.
Yeah. These I've only seen twice on eBay, and I was lucky enough, the second time I seen them, I actually got them. And they're in pretty worn condition.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, Bob Miller.
Bob Miller.
And like I said, they didn't even have batting ratings on their cards yet. This is the first
Show
full
us a
set.
couple.
You have Bob Moorhead, you have Sammy Taylor, Elio Chacon, Gil Hodges.
Gil Hodges.
127 times
What's
that year.
his rating over there?
His rating was a first baseman 2, running 1 to 14, E-stealing rating.
Running 1 to 14.
That was pretty good for his later years.
Pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
That's a surprise.
Hot Rod Keneal. I think he was a utility infielder for the 62
Felix
Mets.
Mantilla was this.
And I think he had 32 errors that year.
32
grand total.
Look at his card. Let's see what he got as far as a rating there.
His outfielder 3. They would just give you a whole outfielder rating. And then second base, third base. Actually, he played every position except catcher and pitcher. So he's very versatile on that team. And you had Felix Mantilla,
if not very good,
starting third baseman.
Wow.
And the 62 Mets, they wanted to try to get a lot of familiar faces to draw fans to the team. And if you notice, there's some Yankee players, Brooklyn Dodger players, and Philadelphia Philly players.
Marvelous Marv Throneberry. Let's see that card.
First baseman 4.
Let's see what we got there, if I can get that in there.
And these are the actual, they
Richie
came out.
Ashburn.
Richie Ashburn.
Probably their lone all-star, wasn't he?
Yes. As a matter of fact, he was the first all-star for the Mets, 62. And you had Joe Christopher. He was around for a few years, until 65, I believe. Then you had Jim Hickman, who eventually went on to the Cubs and had a pretty decent career for them. And then he was a rookie with the 62 Mets.
Sure. Had a pretty good career.
Yes. Yeah, Frank Thomas.
How's that home run card there for Frank Thomas?
34 home runs in 62, and that record stood all the way up until 1975 when Dave Kingman broke it.
And he's a 1 to 14 also. Boy, what a speedy team.
Yeah, 62
And they couldn't win.
And they couldn't win. And then we have Gene Woodling.
Gene Woodling.
And
later with the Cubs?
Yeah, he was with the Yankees. He was one of the players that played for both teams. But that's your 62 64 team, which came out in 65. You have Bobby Klaus, Larry Elliott, Larry Bernard. He was a pretty good reliever for them for a couple of years, actually. He was all they had for the first couple of years. You have Charlie Smith, who got traded to the Yankees after the 64 season. He had 20 home runs for the Mets at third base. And then you had Roy Mcmillan, and he was the guy that really worked with Bud Harrelson. And when Bud Harrelson was coming up with the team, because he was a great shortstop in his own right, Roy Mcmillan. I think he played for the Cincinnati Reds for quite a few years. You had George Altman.
Is the mighty Hickman again?
The mighty Hickman, and he stayed with the team all the way up until 67 or 68. He got traded to the Dodgers with Ron Hunt. I forgot who they got. I should remember who they got for him. Willard Hunter, Bill Wakefield, Galen Cisco, who went on to be a great pitching coach over the years. Rod Keneal, his last year with the Mets, I think, is 64. Galen Cisco. Al Jackson. Bob Taylor.
Al Jackson, their ace.
Yeah, he was the ace of the team. And then he was 11-16, which was good for the 64 Mets. I don't think there was many
Very good
who won more than 10.
Right.
And then we have Tracy Stallard, who gave up the home run to Roger Maris, the 61st home run, who ended up with the Mets.
That guy would be a Met.
Yeah, especially after that, Pete. Chris Cannizzaro.
Dubious distinction.
Chris Cannizzaro actually had a pretty long career.
Or as Casey would call him, Canzaneri.
Canzaneri. But he was around for like 10 years. He was a pretty good utility catcher.
He wound up with what? Montreal, San Diego?
Montreal, San Diego, Chicago Cubs.
Stick around for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe the Giants?
Giants, the Dodgers. And then we have Ed Kranepool and Jesse Gonder, one of my favorite Mets. Yeah, take it.
Ron Hunt.
And then Ron Hunt.
Where's the hit by pitches?
Yeah. I don't think they started yet.
No hit by pitches.
But he did bat 303. And that was the year he made the All-Star team.
The All-Star Ron Hunt. But they don't have the hit by pitches on the card.
Not yet. I'd have to look up and see how many. I have to look at the Super Advanced. Maybe they have it on 1967.
This is an original. Look at the condition on this card. This is the 67 Mets. Tom Seavers rookie card.
And of course,
this card.
And of course, within the last 10-15 years, Strat-o-matic recreated the team with the Super Advanced statistics. But these are the originals that came out in '68.
The way it was played originally. Look at that, 1967.
And that's the Seaver rookie. You have quite a few other players that came up with that team. Danny Priscilla had a pretty good career. Cal Kuntz, who was on the 69 Mets. 67 is around the year you start to see some of the 69 Mets start to show up on the team.
Let's see who we got here.
Dick Selma.
Who
went on to the Cubs in 69. And Ron Taylor, who was one of the key relievers.
Till 72.
Till 72. Ron Taylor and Tug McGraw were the two guys in the bullpen.
Tommy Reynolds. Chicago White Sox, eventually?
I think he ended up on the A's. A's and the White Sox.
He's rated for catcher, too.
Yeah. Quite a few positions.
Look at the way they have the card layout. Look at the way the card is laid out. The original card. How they fit it in there.
Yeah.
Boy, they changed the formatting. That's what the difference is with the 67 set and the later sets.
Yeah, the latest, it's 1970. It's 71, 1970 season is when they went to the different typesetting in the front of the card. Yeah, John Sullivan, Larry Stahl, Bob Henley. Here's Ron Swoboda. This was Ron Swoboda's best year with the Mets. He was up 449 times and batted .281 with 13 home runs. And they gave him actually a right fielder 2 rating. And his nickname was called Rocky for his Rocky fielding. So that's Ron Swoboda. And then you have Bob Johnson, who went on to the Baltimore Orioles.
Look what it says at the top of the card. I'm going to zoom in
pinch hitter. I have never seen that before.
It says pinch hitter on the 1967 card. They actually have a rating for pinch hitter.
I've never seen that.
Never seen that.
And I own the cards. The other thing I've noticed that some
do they have the triple split there too?
I was just getting ready to mention that. You have to look real closely to find
Let's see, where's the triple split?
But I'm sure some of them, some of the cards probably have them.
Some of them. So we got Tommy Davis, early Met star, all 4s.
Yeah.
So you know where that team was heading in the win-loss column.
Exactly. But he batted 300 and had 16 home runs, and they really needed that.
Would have been a perfect DH.
Exactly. And here's Bud Harrelson's first year with the Mets.
A C-stealer, 1-15.
Shortstop, too.
He hit .254, probably his best offensive year.
48 walks and 64 strikeouts. Not bad for a rookie year.
Not bad, right?
And you have Don Cardwell. That was his first year with the Mets. And then Jack Fisher's last year with the Mets, and Jack Fisher got traded for Tommy Agee. You Met fans don't know about that. And then we have Jerry Grody, his worst year with the Mets, he batted .195. And catcher, too.
Prompting them to, what, draft Steve Chilcott?
Yeah, Steve Chilcott over Reggie Jackson.
Buchek.
Jerry Buchek.
But look at the format of how they did his ratings there.
It's like they didn't have enough room.
They didn't have enough room, so I guess Hal must have, wait, let me see if I can get there. Hal must have laid it in there. There's the Crane.
The Crane?
A 3, 1E10.
Not a bad year, 269, 10 home runs.
1E10, he graduated to 1E8 later on in his career.
Yeah.
Could have been the slowest player on the team. But beloved Ed Kranepool.
Hit a home run in the 69 World Series, Game 3.
So many great memories of Eddie, number
Steady
7.
Eddie, the Crane.
Eddie.
And then we rounded off with Cleon Jones.
Guy getting a 3 in right and left field. A B1 to 16.
And it looks like his main outfield position is 67 was
But if you look at his statistics in 67, you never would have predicted the greatness of the 340 season.
Exactly. Exactly.
The Mets from Mobile.
And that's your 67 Mets. And then back in those days, they only had 20 cards per team. They didn't have the extra additional players. So that was another thing that came on in later years. The 1969 season was the first season they actually had the 4 extra players on each team. And then in the 68 season...
Do you hear that, people?
The 68 season, they had 20 players per team. Plus, they had the expansion rosters, which had different players from different teams. So you could have went with the expansion team or the regular team.
I've got some Strat history there. There's a couple of good questions. If anybody wants to feed back on that or share on that, there you go. There's some interesting facts there.
Another good interesting thing here. If you bear with me for 1 second, I can show you. With the 69 Mets, started in 69, I believe. There's a 69 Super Advanced.
Every Met team. Look at that. What set is that?
That's the 64 set.
Pull that out.
I have them all in order.
There's one that we probably don't see.
Some of them might have writing on them, but that's the way I acquired them. But they still, even with the writing on them, they're in mint condition, some of them.
Wow, doesn't matter.
1969 teams.
Original 69. Look at the difference in the cards here. Here's the 69 Mets, Clendenin.
Exactly. 69 Mets, Clendenin,
the format. That's the original card.
And they did not have super advanced.
See, the back is blank.
Back is blank.
That's how you know.
In 1970, they went with this type of format.
Right. They structured and
structured them a little bit better, here. More room for the positions.
It's not kind of typed in across the top or says no pinch hitter there.
Exactly. And then with the 1969 season, since they didn't have advanced, in the early 80s, they finally went with the advanced. And these are the advanced packs.
Right, that's when it was recreated.
But they didn't have the ballpark effects yet. So the last 2 years, they eventually redid 69 again, and now they have the super advanced ballpark effects and everything else.
3 phases of Strat-o-matic as evidenced by the cards. The original, the next reproduction with the advanced, and then with the added super advanced effects on the card.
And it's the same with the 1968 season, which has just come out today. There's 3 different types of cards.
Just looking at the formulas, you can see that if you look at the cards, the formatting is different, and all the advanced symbols as compared to the basic. Look how Strat-o-matic has evolved over the years.
And this is where we are at the present day, the bottom of Tommy Agee. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to show all of this stuff.
You've been most informative, and it's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. And it's a Met fan stream, and it's very easy to find these. So if you're on the auction sites, very easy. It took me about 6 years to get all of these together every year.